Hey everybody and welcome. It is I, your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend, Joe Seeby. And welcome guys, happy Thursday. And today is part of our class that we like to call Picture This. Picture This is when I give you an image, a photograph, a painting, any image, and your job is to write a chorus or at least a poem based on whatever it is that you see when you look at that image. Why do we do this exercise? Well, I'll tell you. I love this exercise because it forces you to be creative even when you don't really feel creative, because it's a definitive picture and there's no words. You have to look at the image and create a whole story around that picture. Usually I pick a picture that has a lot of imagery in it, and your job is to come up with a story that relates to the picture. Now, I tell you guys this every week, and I'm not going to ever stop telling you this, because whatever you write about, this is your universe. So whatever you see in that picture, no matter what it is, it could be a picture of the sun and a tree. If it makes you think about your Aunt Millie and you want to write about your Aunt Millie, go ahead. I would rather it be something based on the image, but there's no right or wrong answer here. I want you to write whatever it is you feel based on that picture. I want you to stare at that photograph and kind of dissolve into it as you go into a daydream. And, when you pull back out of that daydream, then I want you to write about everything you saw when you were up here. I just want you to write it down. It doesn't have to rhyme, doesn't have to tell any story yet. Just write the observational things you see in the picture, and then write down on it, make another little list, and write down everything you saw in your daydream when you were spacing out. Like this is what I do. I tell you guys this all the time, but I'll just repeat myself because it really does help to repeat the process. What I do is I'll stare at that picture, literally stare at it until I kind of start to daydream and I don't see anything in front of me. I'm kind of in my own head. I'm daydreaming. I'm having a daydream. But the picture's up here still. So when I go into that daydream, the picture's apparent in my mind's eye. When I pull back out of it, I write down everything that I saw in that little 6-minute daydream, or however long I was in here and not out here. You know what I mean? But when you pull back out and you're sitting back in this chair or your chair at home, staring at that photograph, start writing down everything that's there, no matter what, even if it's something way in the background. Just write everything that you see in it, and then you never know. Something that's in the background or something that's in the picture that's not the focal point might start to unravel a story for you to, start your journey in this photograph, right? So I say this all the time too. We don't know what happened before the picture or after it. There's a moment frozen in time, and we have to give it a story. We have to give it life. We have to give it words where there are no words. We're just staring at a blank picture. We're staring at a picture with no words. We're creating the imagery through our words. And then, of course, once you start laying down all the, big parts of your story, then start to worry about the rhyme and where it goes, and you know what I mean? Don't worry about it in the beginning unless you're hearing something right away. Sometimes our first take is the best sometimes, Sometimes what comes right out of the tip of my tongue will be better than if something I try to plan for 2 days. Sometimes my first impression or my first thought is my best. Not always, but sometimes it is. So You know, another reason why I love to do this is because, you know, I don't always feel creative. I don't always have a ton of ideas just bristling in my brain, and I'm dying to get them out. Sometimes I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing anything. And then if I have a writing session between this time and this time, and I know between 2 and 7, I have to be really creative because somebody's coming over and they're relying and counting on me to give them something that's going to be memorable. They're looking to you for answers, or they're looking to me for answers. They come here hoping that I give them, you know, something. You start out with nothing, a blank piece of paper, and you end up with a song or words or lyrics and melody. So people are looking to me for that. And sometimes I don't have nothing up here. There's nothing, but I know how to tap into my creative side. And movies will do it. Other songs will do it. I can hear another song from another artist, and all day I could be thinking of, like, what am I going to write for a melody? What am I going to write for words? What's my theme? And then I'll hear a song, someone else's song. And I don't try to steal the song. I just, like, I take the feeling that I get from that song and try to transform it into something that's original, that's mine. And then when you listen to it compared to the other, it sounds nothing like theirs. But it was the sentiment and the original intent or whatever, and you come up with your own version of what that made you feel. So music will inspire me like that big time. So I'm going to shut up now because I'm going to let you see the photograph that I picked for tonight's assignment. So without further ado, here it is. Okay, so you see the picture. A man and a woman in an embrace, but they're like on fire. They're on fire. They're burning. You know, they're both glowing red and they're in flames, like they're standing in the middle of a fire. I thought that was really cool. And, you know, when I first looked at it, I saw a bunch of pictures, and then that one went by, and I was like, whoa, and I froze the thing and stared at it, and I'm like, this is mine for tonight. This is tonight's theme. So I wrote some words based on that photograph. Now, you know, when you do this, I want you to do it listen, mine's an example, but it shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't set yours to mine or for any other reason. So anyway, I wrote words. And this is what I wrote based on that. So I'm looking at it, and even though they look like they're in love in fire, for some reason, my daydream went into, I gave you all of me, and it wasn't never reciprocated. So maybe this is one night of passion and whatever, and then nothing after that. That's what I got out of it from my daydream, when I went into my daydream. So here's what I wrote. I gave you my heart. It was never returned. Searching for something I desperately yearned. I roll with the punches, my lessons been learned. Standing too close to the fire, you'll burn. I'll read it again. I gave you my heart, it was never returned. Searching for something I desperately yearn. I rolled with the punches, my lessons been learned. Standing too close to the fire, you'll burn. So that, and I wrote a melody to that too, but that's for another day. We're gonna go over that together. But anyway, guys, that is all the time that we have for tonight. I cannot wait to see what you guys wrote for this. I really can't wait, because you guys have been hitting some home runs, man, lately. So I really can't wait to see what you guys come up with for this one, because this is a good one. So anyway, guys, that is all the time we have for tonight. This is your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend Joe Seavey. I love you guys. Be safe, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with for that. All right, guys, good night. Peace.